This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Here's one from Francis. Everybody's talking about it this week. Who do you think will win the Super Bowl this year?
All indications point to Tampa Bay, that this is just their year. Let me tell you, and I look at things differently. I look at the human side of things, and I look at maybe God put everything, all the pieces together, that this is just their year. It's supposed to be their year. But when you got a guy like Tom Brady who switches teams after all the years that he's been, and all the success that he's had already at this point in his career, to make a move to Tampa and then them to put a couple of pieces down there that, have kind of been under the radar. But, Gronkowski's a hell of an addition. That's front page news. And you have a coach that's going to give you the leeway that he's given Tom Brady, and to see him just settle in over, the pandemic and be able to even spend any time with some, Antonio Brown and the acquisitions that he's had and all the new players, and, that wasn't possible. So it's been one of those crazy years. But the real telltale sign for me was everybody hates the winner. Everybody hates the Yankees. Everybody hates the Patriots because they just win all the time. And people hate the guy that wins all the time. When Tom Brady took the time to stay in the Superdome and wait for Drew Brees on what was probably and possibly, who knows, his last game, and spend that time out on the field with throwing passes to his kids and all the things that humanized Tom Brady at a level you had never seen before. He's got a gorgeous wife who makes more than him, for God's sakes. And 6 Super Bowl rings. Come on, everybody aspires to just get one. All the things that lead to you not liking him, for me, he became a human being that day. And you may never ever in the history of sports have 2 quarterbacks, pro quarterbacks, who have enjoyed the careers that he and Drew Brees have, to share a moment like that. And they probably knew that would be the only chance to. And it's just, if you're an athlete, it's special. And to have that regard for someone, when you're Tom Brady, to have that regard for Drew Brees, and vice versa. If you know what you're looking at, I'm sorry, that's just meant to be this year. Now, let me put you on the other side of that coin. For me personally, being a Panthers fan and being loyal, if it can't be them, then I look to the next team that, who do I enjoy watching? Because that's the next biggest thing on the, Richter scale. I like to see Kansas City play. They are exciting. They do some of the damnedest things you have ever seen at some of the most inopportune times. That quarterback is special, but they have some, their tight end is special. Their running backs or receivers, they have special teams. They're a team that can go into halftime losing 42-0. And at the end of the game, they won 56-45. They're just that kind of team. They can take over a half. They can take over a football game anytime, at any point, and they're just exciting to watch. So the best thing I'm hoping for, since it can't be the Panthers, I'm not pulling for either team, other than just a little bit, and I know there's so many Tom Brady fans out there that are wishing this would happen, and it won't bother me, but I'm kind of pulling for the Chiefs and just being able to have a hell of a football game, competitive.
So you think the Bucs are going to win, but you want the Chiefs to win?
I don't even want the Chiefs to win. I just want it to be a really exciting shootout.
I think we're going to get that no matter what, but I'm pulling for Brady, but I think the Chiefs are going to win.
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, and it won't bother me one way or the other, but I just think more so than the Bucks, and I don't want to put the pressure on Brady, but I think it's Tom Brady's year. He's going to prove a lot of guys, that it wasn't the system that got those 6 Super Bowls. A lot of that was Tom Brady leading the team.
It's kind of fun too that, but with Brady there, they're like the opposite of AW. They're the old Bucks instead of the young Bucks. Jeremy wants to know, it's often said that professional wrestling was the first professional sport in Charlotte. Did you ever get to meet other stars of professional sports in the Queen City? I'm thinking of the Earnhardts, the Hornets, the Panthers, etc.
Yeah, Rick was a pretty hot commodity when the Hornets got to town. Some of the basketball players occasionally, Rick he had like 4 tickets or something, really premier tickets to the Hornets. That's when I first really got my respect level up for those guys. Seeing them on TV doesn't do them justice till you got a really good seat at a live game and you see how big and athletic these guys are and how they move up down the court and the cardio involved and just basically the physical ability that those guys have. And some of the Hornets, we would stop by sometimes and have a drink somewhere, on their way home from it would be Rick, and he would set something up with a couple of the players or one of the players or something, and we would just stop by and have a drink with them or something. Of course, when Kevin Green came to the Panthers, that personalized it for a lot of us. He would, be kind enough to give us his family seats, and we would go to games and we would meet Kevin, maybe for about a dinner somewhere. And after a game, if time was permitting and schedule was permitting. So, we ran into some of those guys, the race car drivers you would always, run into in different places, restaurants and different places, and see them walking down the mall at Christmas time. And, I didn't recognize them all. Some I did, the ones that were getting all the press that were on TV. And, the guys would throw up their hand, hey, Forcer, hey, double A, da-da-da. And I would go, who is that? And, my son would go, that's Dale Jr., Dad. So I had some, encounters around Charlotte. It's not that big a city, and had some, nice encounters, all positive with some of the other athletes in town.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.